Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very well, enjoying the break, which hopefully most of you are on a break during this festive season. I'm here to talk finances again. I actually like talking about finances. I know for some people it's a bit of a dry subject. It could be a bit boring. But hey, I used to be an accountant, tax advisor. So I was good at maths and all that. So numbers do interest me. And City's numbers interest me. Now, we've done a few videos this year about finances. We talked about potentially City being the first club to turn over £1 billion. I'm going to do a slight deviation on that. I'm going to talk about it in euros because I think that's more achievable, that's more attainable, and I think it is attainable. I'm going to explain why and how I think City can hit that €1 billion turnover very, very soon, within maybe a couple of years. Now, our last set of accounts, we had a turnover, I think it was £712.8 million. The year before, it was about 100 million less than that. I think that's 613, 612, something in that order of magnitude. Now, not sure if that's the right way to use that word anyway. So we've gone up by 99 to 100 million pounds in one season. Now, various reasons for that, but obviously winning everything makes a big difference. You know, winning the Champions League, all the prize money from that, all the TV money from that, because we got a ton of TV money from that as well. Winning the Premier League, obviously the prize money there, and the TV money from the Premier League, even things like the FA Cup, which obviously we won. There's a little bit of money involved in that as well. So all these things added up together helped to that massive leap, almost £100 million. Other things would have impacted upon that as well. The restoration of fans at the grounds, proper season, full season without COVID, empty stadiums and stuff like that. All these things helped. I think we actually got rid of 2,000 or 3,000 seats, which made the ground a bit smaller. But we replaced the money from those season cards or the ticket sales with extra advertising. And I'm guessing that the extra advertising was worth more than what the fans would have paid for those 2,000 or 3,000 seats. Sadly, it's the way of the world. It's the way business is these days, unfortunately. And we just have to take it, have to accept it. This is the way it is. It's all about the money, which is what we're here for, talking about the money. So when I translate it, when I use the exchange rate, and the current exchange rate for euros is 1.15, 1.15 euros per pound. When you do that, I think you get to somewhere in the region of about 820 million euros. So that's our turnover last season. It's about 820 million euros. Now, I forgot to mention, we've also got some more sponsors as well. So that all adds up, and all the new deals that we've got, that Puma one kicking in, that's worth a lot of money. And everything else, sponsors are paying us a ton of money. So, so we're about 820 million euros. Now, it's unlikely that we're going to every year win the treble. It's unlikely. I mean, let's be honest about it. This season, for instance, we won the Club World Championship. That was worth, I think, £4 million, €5 million to us. We won the Super Cup, the UEFA Super Cup. Now, I don't know what the prize money is for the UEFA Super Cup. I'm just going to have a quick look at that. But we beat Sevilla in that. So we got a little bit of money. It's not going to be, I don't think, a lot of money. Let's have a look what it says. Probably only it's not going to be that much, I don't think. So City won it. I can't find anything. So sorry, I don't know, guys. The actual money, but it should be worth a little bit of money. I did know when I did this last time, but I apologize. But it might be worth a couple of million euros. Let's say it's not going to be bundles of cash. But what's going to make the difference? What's going to help us to bridge that 180 million? One thing we have to do is sustain what we're currently doing. The current level of qualifying for obviously for the Champions League, and qualifying from the group. Like this season, we won all our group games. I think it is the first time we've ever done it. 6 group games. I think the prize money is about 2.4 million euros per game. So that's 14.5 million quid. 14.5 million euros for winning all the games. So best part of 15 million euros for winning all 6 games makes a difference. The further you get in the competition, obviously, the more prize money you get, the more I think you get more TV money, or the TV money stays the same, but you get more prize money at each successive round that you get to. So we have to maintain that sort of level. Now, the new TV deal, I think there's a bit more money in the new TV deal. I think the price per game has gone down, but the overall TV deal has gone up. So I think there'll be a little bit more money coming from that. That's going to make a difference. Other things that are going to make a difference, obviously, the continued popularity of Manchester City with blue chip companies, with global companies who want to sponsor us, because companies want to be associated with winners. That's why we get a lot of new fans, because new fans want to be associated with the winners, and big organizations want to be associated with teams that are winning. When you're investing in sports, you don't want to pick the losers. You want to pick teams that are already doing the business, that are household names across the world. So we've got, blue chip sponsors like Puma, like Nissan, like Nexen Tires, Hayes. I think Hayes still a sponsor. Lots of big companies got nothing to do with the UAE. I know people harp on about that, but I think only about 10% of our income is coming from the UAE companies, or maybe 15%, and most of that's from the Etihad deal, which is a fair commercial deal. If you want to sponsor Manchester City shirts, if you want to have your name on the shirts and the name of the stadium, you're going to have to pay a hefty sum, 60, 70 million just for the shirts, and probably 10 or 15 million for the stadium naming rights. So you're looking at best part of 100 million there. So, don't allow other fans to distract you from the truth. This is a fair market value for the money that we're getting. And if it wasn't Etihad, another big company would want to be sponsoring us. Yeah, there's no doubt about that, because they want to be associated with the champions. Where we've won the Premier League 3 years on the bounce, 5 times out of 6 years, the most popular league in the world. The best league in the world, more sides are on it. We've won it 5 times in the last 6 years. We've been in 2 Champions League finals in the last 3 years, winning 1, losing 1. So we're consistently in the households of the global public, global football fans who are watching football, watching the top competitions, watching the Champions League, watching the Premier League, watching things like the Club World Championship. They see Manchester City. And they're not just seeing Manchester City playing in those competitions, they're seeing them win those competitions. So that makes a huge, as I said, it has a huge impact, and it's a big, big draw for these big sponsors. So I expect our sponsors and sponsorship to increase over the next couple of years. Other things that are going to have an impact, well, we're going to increase the size of the stadium. That's going to go up to 60,000, but that's going to take probably 2 or 3 years to happen. And that'll be worth it will be worth a decent amount of money, an extra 6 or 7, I think 7,000 seats. For argument's sake, we play 30 home games a season, okay? 7,000 extra seats, 50 quid a pop. That's 7,000 times 50 quid. Is that 3.5? Is that 3.5 million? It's a lot of money. Okay, so you're going to get a lot of extra money from that. I'm going to work it out while we're chatting. So you got 7,000 extra seats, and you're going to get let's say 50 quid, because they're not going to be on season cards, and you're going to get 30 games a season. That's a lot of money. I make that 10.5 million. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I reckon it's between 10 and 12 million we will get just from the extra seats. I can't do these numbers in my head anymore. I used to be good at them, but I can't do it. So there's another 10 million quid there, 10 or 12 million quid, which when you do it up in the euros, will be 13 to 15 million euros, I think, from the extra capacity. We'll also have other things coming through. So we're going to have the arena. Now, we don't know how that money is going to come into, I think it's going to come into City. That's my belief, because it's part of the stadium footprint, let's say, the area around the stadium. So we're going to have that arena, concert arena, 21,000 seats, so there's going to be a fair bit of money coming in from there. We're going to have a hotel. There's going to be a fair bit of money coming in from the hotel. We're going to have a fan park as well. So, I think they're going to make this new City. I think we had it. It's called City Square, and we have after games. There's not a lot. I think there's Somerby's bar and some stuff goes on at City Square, but I think they're trying to make it a much bigger experience. And when you think about it, you're going to have the hotel there. Fans are going to be able to come, watch a game at City, stay a couple of nights in the hotel, go to the City Square or whatever it's going to be called, the new fan zone, spend time there, spend their money there. They're going to spend a lot of money there. New club shop, they're going to spend money there. And actually, it's going to probably take some money away from Manchester, central Manchester, the city centre, because these fans won't have a need. At the moment, if you want to spend a couple of days in Manchester and you want to come to a City game, you'll go into the city centre, you'll go and stay in a hotel in the city centre, you'll spend your money in the city centre. Now what's going to happen, you might want to be staying in a hotel at the ground. You're going to have restaurants and bars and stuff at the ground, so you're going to be spending your money there. Who's to say one day they don't open a nightclub there? I mean, I'm not sure that'd be good for the peace and quiet, but who knows? They want to make that a destination for tourists, not just to watch the football matches. I mean, tourists might come to spend time there. And if you go into a concert, at the arena, maybe you want to spend a couple of nights in the hotel there. You're on site. There's no problems with parking. There's no problems getting away from a venue. You just walk from the arena to the hotel. That might take you 5 or 10 minutes. Wow, easy peasy. You want something to eat? Loads of eateries there. You want something to drink? Loads of places to get something to drink. So they want to make this a one-stop destination for tourists. And as I said, some will be there for the concert, some will be there for the football, and some might just be there for the crack. They might, Manchester's a busy city. It might be hard to get a room somewhere, and people might say, let's go and try it out. So that's another good source of money. But I think I've left this till the end. There's probably other bits and pieces that I've missed out, but I think one of the biggest sources, and I purposely left this to the end, so if you want to find out what the biggest source is, it's this. It's the new Club World Championship. Now, the current Club World Championship, I mean, we played 2 games. We picked up 4 million quid, 5 million euros. The next Club World Championship, the one in 2025, there's a new format. Now I've got some notes here. There's a new format. 32 clubs will be involved, and it's going to be once every 4 years. I don't know what's going to happen in between, whether they're going to still have a little Club World Championship or they're just going to do it every 4 years. But it looks like it's going to be a huge tournament, which could take up to a month to conclude. It's going to take several weeks anyway. So now the situation is, it was only recently the FIFA Council met and they agreed the qualifying criteria. Now, we knew this anyway, that it's over a 4-year period. So the clubs that win the Champions League in that 4-year cycle, they are automatically entered into the competition. And you could only have 2 teams from each country. Unless one country's had 3 or 4 winners of the Champions League. I guess that's how it happens. So City, the most in this current 4-year cycle, Chelsea have won it, Real Madrid have won it, and Manchester City have won it. So that's the Champions League. So we are automatically into that competition. Now, the only way another English team can get into it is if Arsenal win the Champions League this season, because there's no one else in it. Everybody else has been knocked out. And this obviously has annoyed some clubs, which is great. Liverpool and Man United are very, very unhappy because they've been locked out of this competition because, hey, they've not won the Champions League in the last 3 or 4 years. And whereas Liverpool might have hoped that their coefficient or what they'd done in the Champions League in that 4-year cycle would have meant that they were the second team from England. It ain't happening, buddies. It ain't happening, Scousers. It's going to be Chelsea and City because we've won it. In that 4-year cycle, Liverpool won it before the 4-year cycle started. Tough titties, boys. Tough titties. So, the two most recent Champions League winners are City and Chelsea. Okay. Now, as I said, Liverpool thought they might be able to get through because of the previous things, but that ain't happening. And as I said, Arsenal can make it if they win the Champions League this season. Now, this 32-team tournament, there's 12 teams from Europe. Okay. Now, I don't know how honestly don't know how that's going to work. I think it's going to be based upon how which teams have done best in the Champions League over that 4-year qualification cycle. That's going to be us for the foreseeable because Chelsea aren't even in it. So for this cycle, it's done and dusted. The next cycle, when that starts, hopefully we'll still be in the Champions League every season. We're going to have to win it at some point if we want to keep this going. Now, the big thing about this, the big thing about this is the money. The money that's involved in this. And it's been reported that it's going to be just to participate, you get 50 million quid just to participate. The winners will take home a reported 100 million pounds. That includes a participation fee. So prize money is up to 50 million quid for the winner. That, if you win that, it's 100 million quid. That's 115 million euros. That takes our 820 to 935 straight away. Yeah. And I think with the extra TV money we're going to get from the next TV deal, the extra sponsorship, the extra income we're going to get from, I'm not going to say screwing the fans, but they'll put the season cards up, a little bit every year. Can you imagine another 40,000 tickets where they've put the season cards up by 30 or 40 quid? It's not even going to be a lot of money, but they're going to find ways to get lots of extra bits of dosh. But that Club World Championship, that new tournament, is going to be the one that brings in the serious dough. That's why Liverpool and Man United, Liverpool especially, are gutted that they're going to miss out because it's 50 million quid just to qualify, just to participate, with the prospect that you would expect the European clubs to be the better clubs and that they have the most likelihood of qualifying for further rounds in that competition. So, they might be able to walk off with 70 million quid. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Some more notes about this then. The tournament's in, I'm just reading when it takes place. It takes place in the USA between June 15th and July the 13th, 2025. I already know I ain't going. Summer is my busy season for theatre work, so I'm certainly not going to take a month off for that. It's really, really interesting going through some more of the notes. It's going to be on that coefficient. So you're going to get, it says Portuguese sides Porto and Benfica have qualified alongside Chelsea, Man City and Real Madrid due to their coefficient rankings. Bayern Munich, PSG, Inter Milan also through. Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, German teams Borussia Dortmund and RB Leipzig and Serie A said Juventus, Napoli and Lazio are vying with Red Bull Salzburg for 3 or 4 of the remaining slots. Real Sociedad, PSV Eindhoven and FC Copenhagen are in the same situation as Arsenal. If they win the Champions League, as unlikely as that might be, if they win it, they will qualify. Lots of teams from South America, as you'd expect. So you've got Brazilian sides, Palmeiras, Flamengo, Fluminense. They've all qualified as champions. Asian sides, Al Hilal, Urawa, Red Diamonds, also through. So if you want to go, you can go and check out. There's a lot more stuff on that. But the main thing for me, the main takeaway is the money involved. The money is phenomenal. The money in that is phenomenal. So, as I said, City are likely to be the first club to break that €1 billion barrier. Might be £1 billion as well at some point, because not only do we have to obviously remain where we are, but it's very tight at the top. It is very tight at the top. But you look at someone like Man United at the Champions League, okay, struggling to qualify for next year's Champions League. That's worth a lot of money. It's worth a heck of a lot of money. So that's going to have a big impact upon them. Now, this talk with this new investment from the Ineos Group and Jim Ratcliffe, that they might expand Old Trafford to get a few thousand more seats in there. But, I can't see how they're going to be making tons more money because they're not good enough on the pitch. And that's where the money is. This Champions League, this Club World Championship tournament, potentially going to get between 50 and 100 million pounds. That's where the big money is. Champions League, we earned, what was it, 120 million quid last year from the Champions League or something. It's phenomenal amounts of money, and United are not going to get that. So obviously they're knocking on the door. They're not too far behind us. But as I said, I think City will be the first club to break that €1 billion turnover barrier. I think that might happen in the season that we play in the Club World Championship. Now, actually, the funny thing is that Club World Championship, final point, the dates straddle our year end. I think our year end is the 30th of June. So it won't impact until, I guess, the season afterwards. It'll hit the books the season afterwards in the next set of accounts. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know if Pep's still going to be here then. He might have given up because he's won it all. But hey, that is for another video. Guys, if you've made it through to the end, thank you very much for watching the full video. Please, if you're new to the channel, if you can give us a subscribe. I've asked you already. Why haven't you subscribed? If you're still watching and you haven't, it's bonkers that. And give us a thumbs up and hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. We'll see you around, Blues.